Well, welcome again to It's Possible podcast. Today is an amazing day. Again, every day is amazing. And it's
Everything.
possible, yes. We have an amazing person with us today. I can tell you, your mind will be blown. All right, so I'm not going to talk a lot. I'll let her introduce herself to you so that you know what she does, and then we take the conversation from there. Welcome to the show, Miss Alisa.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here because anything's possible, right?
Yes, anything is possible. You just start to by believing it's possible, and then do the work.
There you go. Most people don't want to do the work. So I am the real Alisa Applewhite, your CEO 3 times. That's what I call myself because I have 3 companies. So I just
Okay.
try to keep it simple. CEO 3 times, CEO 3 companies. I have a company called the first company called Top of the Line Healthcare Staffing, where we staff medical professionals in hospitals, doctors' offices, and nursing homes. And
Mm.
then we have TOTLHS Hard to Go Inc. I always got to remember it because it's the abbreviations of Top of the Line Healthcare Staffing.
Top of the line.
So
Okay.
that is our nonprofit, and we want to build that one up to help medical professionals with like rental assistance, mortgage assistance. We do credit education, financial literacy education. We want to help them with car payment assistance, child care assistance is a big thing that we helping because it's like a big need in healthcare. Like a lot of women are in healthcare and they need somebody to watch their children, so they go to work.
Mm.
But we started the nonprofit because we have this annual event called the Heart of Gold Gala, where we celebrate 52 medical professionals, and it's like a all black and white attire. Black tie event. They literally their butler to cater to like everybody walks around appreciating them, thanking them, and then I love it because they get to tell these stories, right? So most healthcare professionals they go through a lot of stuff but they never get them stories out on what happened. And I feel like in healthcare, especially as a regular person and then as a medical professional, you learn a lot from listening to stories in healthcare, right? Of healthcare medical professionals. So my goal is to get their stories out, so we get to celebrate them, and we all, have an open bar for the whole time the event is
Mm.
going on, and we get to party and eat. But the great part is that they finally get this acknowledgement. So we do things like help them with their light bill. We help them with car repairs. Like we do a lot to help our medical professional because we truly believe in helping the holistic medical professional. And then we have our third company, and thanks to the morning meetup and thanks to Myron Golden, they inspired me to start this third company called The Real Alisa Applewhite. The Real Alisa Applewhite Consulting. And that is where we consult everyday people to help them build a healthcare staffing agency from ground to government.
Mm.
And then we help everyday medical professionals to learn like how to truly be the best medical professional they can be. We partner with hospitals and nursing homes, and we teach them how to retain their staff so they're less likely to use staffing. I know it's backwards, but my whole goal is to make sure that patients have somebody who care at the bedside. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a big thing for me, right? We also have our podcast called Beyond the Scrubs podcast, where me and my husband we talk to everyday people. So I would love to have you on my podcast. We talk to everyday people about their patient experiences, and then we talk to medical professionals about their medical experience and their
Mm-hmm.
medical stories. And we do that. And we just do a lot in healthcare. And the reason why we do so much in healthcare is because I've been a nurse for 14 years.
Okay.
I've been in healthcare for 20 years. So
Mm.
it's like, that's my second life. Like
That's
it's like
right.
all I know, right? Is taking care of people. And my biggest thing of seeing, the real reason why we started the healthcare staffing agency is because I traveled during COVID, and I traveled and worked 60 hours a week, 60 to 72 hours a week, based on what state we went in. I did North Carolina, New Jersey, I did New York, I did
Mm-hmm.
California, I did Texas. I went to all the hot spots. Like everywhere was hot, I was there. I was like, I got to go because I wanted to see like why was these death rates high? Why was so many patients dying?
Mm.
And it changed my mind. Like seeing that much death, I always say this as a medical professional, when you are in healthcare, unless you are in like hospice or you're on palliative care unit, if you are on any other unit, and I have an ICU, ER background, psych background, telemetry, like I've been in almost 20 different specialties, but all of the specialties have been to save lives, right? They've been to do whatever you can to save that life. And when you have something like COVID that comes through and it kills so many people,
Mhm.
right? It's like a mass slaughtering. And then you, as a medical professional, you are assigned to pushing people down to the truck because the morgues were full. So you're assigned to pushing people down to the truck and just putting bodies on top of body bags.
Mm.
That's mentally enough to
Mhm.
drain anybody. And what I seen was people as medical professionals like, man, I just want to survive to see my family. Like I
Yeah.
want to save as much people as I can, but I want to survive to see my family. And I seen also like, man, we doing this. I've been doing this skill for 20 years and I've been doing this skill for 15 years and it's not working. People still dying. So people started to lose hope. People's like, is this even real? Like even what I was taught, is it even working anymore? Right. And when I started seeing people lose hope, I am always the type of person where I always say it's rainbow, sunshine, unicorn, and ice cream. Anything you could think of that's going to keep you positive
Mhm.
when dealing with patients. So I've always been the type of person that when I come on a unit, we're going to be family. We're going to have fun. We're going to laugh with the patients. I don't care how drastic or crazy it seems. We're going to have a good time because at the end of the goal, we all trying to go home to our family, right? We all trying to save lives. So let's give it our all and just keep it going. And that is one of the things that I always done. So I said to God, I had a it's in my book too. I forgot to mention my book. I'm gonna mention my book.
Oof.
So in our book, I wrote about one of my friends that I lost during COVID, and she
Mm.
became my friend during the COVID. Like I met her in New York, and she had like five or six kids. And we worked so many hours together. And one day she didn't come, and they said her husband woke up and found her dead. And I'm just
Oh.
like, man, she was nursing for so many years, So I'm just like, God, just if I make it, like if you choose for me to make it out of this situation to live to see another day,
Mm.
give me a bigger platform so I can motivate people and show patients that compassion never went anywhere. Because people just
Yeah.
felt like compassion just didn't exist anymore in healthcare, like people were rude. And it wasn't that. It's that if you see so much death and nobody addresses it and nobody
Mm.
talks about it, and they just throw it away as if this is something that you normally see in healthcare. You don't normally see 10 to 15 people dying per day in healthcare. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? You might see one or two a week. You might see 10 a week.
Mm.
But when you seeing 10 to 20 people die per day, like that's just not normal. So my goal is to motivate medical professionals, help to push them to be the best medical professional they can be, and also take care of them holistically so they can step into that patient's room and treat that patient with respect and dignity when they are privately with the patient. So when the door is closed, and it wouldn't be a question, right? Because we have alleviated so much of your daily stressors that you have, that you go in there open, you go in there more accepting, with our training and stuff that we do with our staff. So that's why I call myself CEO 3 times. Those are my 3 companies. And I think that's about it. I don't know what else to say.
That's amazing. That's
Thank
that
you.
man, your story is powerful.
Thank you.
More people need to hear your story. Yeah, because that's wow. I was listening to you here. It's like, man, was thinking about it. And I have to thank you for the work you've done and all the
Thank
nurses out there, putting their life at stake to save other people's lives.
you. Hmm.
This is priceless, no one can pay for this, right? So yes, wow, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I always tell people my grandmother was grooming me to be a nurse or be some type of medical professional,
Mm-hmm.
because if you was Janie Moore's granddaughter or grandson, whoever you was, you had to scrape her feet with a butter knife. And I'm talking about the butter knife that you put back in the drawer. That was grandma.
Mm.
She was just like scrape my feet, scratch my back, scratch my hair. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because she was my grandmom and
Mm-hmm.
I knew she needed the help. I knew, like, you know, when you see your grandparents and they still trying to do the things that they used to do when they were younger, and it's like, look, you done did the work, you done did everything, let me help you. I have younger hands, I can do it. And that's how I approach all my patients, that's how I approach my staff. Like, let me help you. If God has given me a vision to help you and he's given me the capability to help you, physical or mental, let me help you. So, like, me and my husband are very, very passionate about our medical professionals. Our It's crazy because we have like this real personal relationship with like over 200 nurses. It's
Mm.
crazy. And they have like our cell phone numbers and they'll text us like da da da, asking us questions and guidance and stuff. And it can be overwhelming. It
Yeah.
can be very overwhelming at times, but I really feel like this is what God called me to do. If nothing else in the world, he has called me to tell people, look, take a breath, breathe. Life is not that serious, but you got to treat people with dignity and
Mm.
compassion. And as a medical professional, you need to be accountable, you need to be professional, and you need to show people compassion. Because biggest thing in the world, like, you are with your family, right? And y'all out, y'all eating, y'all doing whatever. And all of a sudden, your daughter or, your wife, they just stop breathing.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting in the table with you now. I told you I was a medical professional. You're going to look to me like, Alisa, you got to know what you're doing to save her life, like now, like not after you finish eating that meal, like now. So you're going to look for me to be professional. You're going to
Yeah.
look for me to be, not only speedy, but you're going to look for me to be accountable for what I told
Mm-hmm.
you I know to do. And you're going to look for me to have some compassion. You're going to want me to, like, if I'm helping your wife with CPR, you're gonna want me to, if I have to pop open her shirt. Yeah, you don't care if everything show, but still the compassion in me to take a shirt and put it halfway and still do what I gotta do. So it's like you can do things to people to save their lives, but do it with compassion, do it with
Yeah.
accountability. You're gonna look for me to say to you, if she needs some type of medication, hey, this is the type of medication she needs. I need for you to go get this equipment. I need for you to call 911. You're going to look for me to do this. And I always tell people always forget this all the time. There is no gender, there is no ethnicity, there is no religion. There is not a human that is breathing that will not be a patient or has
Mm.
not been a patient.
Wow.
So start treating people with the compassion and dignity that you would want for
Wow.
yourself, because at any moment you can end up a patient, and somebody like me or somebody else that's a medical professional is going to have to take care of you. So you can't keep ignoring the fact that healthcare professionals need help too. You
Wow.
just
You
can't.
see what you just said here? I never thought about it like about this like that. I I don't know if like if it was a belief that medical professionals don't get sick or a doctor would never be sick,
Right.
right? So it seems like sometimes medical professionals understand that too.
Yep.
They may believe that they will never get, I don't know if, but as you were saying it, it came to my mind. This is something I have been believing for a long time.
See, everybody thinks that, and like you were saying, just to confirm it, they think that because you're a medical professional, you just have to be strong. You have to deal with it, regardless of what's going on. But you got medical professionals that have to deal with the aggressive patient, right? The patient that
Mm.
chokes them and throw them. And then you still got to get up after that and go take care of other
Mm-hmm.
people. You got medical professionals that get thrown, especially nurses. The high risk for nurses and doctors' anger is like doctors will throw stuff across the room at you or yell at you. So you got
Mm.
to deal with that. Then you got to deal with the yelling of the patients and the yelling of the family members. So it's a lot of mental stuff that medical professionals see every day. Like, where is their outlet? Where is their help? You
Mm.
know, but we have took this oath, so it's just like, all right, we just suppress it. and we keep going. We suppress it and keep going. And that's one of the things that I love about our nonprofit is the mental health that we get for our medical professionals. And we don't call it mental health. We just call it like what is it? Mind rejuvenating series. That's what we call
Okay.
it. The
Okay.
mind rejuvenate. We want to rejuvenate your mind because there's a stigma when you say mental health. So
Wow.
we just want to continuously rejuvenate our medical professionals' mind because we know, and I know personally, the stress that medical professionals go through. And I understand that medical professionals aren't all the same, right? Like I'm very vocal. You say something to me, I'm gonna say something back to you. I don't care if you're a doctor, the administrator, I don't care if you're the owner of the building. You say something to me, I'm gonna say something back to you. Now I'm more respectable. I have learned along my years to not get is like, look, we can meet outside of Walmart. I have learned that part, right? My part is like, now let's talk. Let's talk alone because I understand that some people do things when they have an audience, right? So let's talk one to one and let me see the real person you are. And let's
Mhm.
come to an understanding to work alongside each other, right? So I've always been that person that's just like I address issues right then. I ain't got
Mhm.
time to wait days and days. But what I realized also is working with so many medical professionals, you have medical professionals that don't never address the issue. So like if a doctor yelled at them or another nurse yelled at them or somebody said something horrible to them or pushed them or choked them, whatever, they never address the issue.
Mm.
And they take this home and sometimes they lash out on their families,
Yeah.
not physically, but mentally lashing out on their families.
Mhm.
And sometimes you have medical professionals like, man, I'm telling you, I was in I was in I was at a hospital in California and I didn't specifically know this nurse, but they said that she had been working for 26 years in the OR. For 26 years, she's been working in the OR, right? She got pregnant, she had her baby. She told her coworker, hey, it's just, I don't feel right. Something just don't feel right with me ever since I had the baby. Her coworker had gave her some the postpartum people to connect to, right? She never connected to them, went home and killed herself, right?
Ooh.
And this is what I'm saying. Medical professionals suffer in silence because
Mhm.
the society has this stigma that we these strong people and we have to stay strong. And it's like it's almost like a man, right? You got to stay strong. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't break down because you got to take care of your family. You got to do everything to be that man. And it's the same thing with medical profession. You have to stay strong. You have to know everything that they think you know. And half of the time we trying to figure it out like you figured it out. It's some basic stuff
Mm.
we know, but we still trying to figure it out like you figured out. So with our company, we give our medical professionals that platform to be able to have somebody to talk to in private. And then
Mhm.
with me being a medical professional myself, and this is why I always say as a CEO, I don't care how big I get, I want to meet all my staff because I have stories too. And because
Yeah.
I've been in the same area they've been in and I worked alongside of the same things they've been doing, like when they talk and they hear my stories, then we connecting. So now it's like it's a sisterhood, it's a brotherhood because we
Mhm.
connecting because we understand. Like, man, that happened with you too. Yeah, that happened with me too. So we definitely are pushing to grow this nonprofit like out the waters because we truly, truly want to get back to patients and medical professionals being happy about going to work and having compassion and not being fed up with just
Mhm.
the things that they feel like they don't have a voice with. So we want to help them get that voice out, but get it out in a professional way, and be able to vent about the things that they see on a day-to-day basis.
That's powerful. Now, that's powerful. Just don't have words.
Mhm.
Let's focus a little bit on your medical staffing
Okay.
business. Yes, because I know some people they want to get into this business to
Okay.
start a medical staffing, but they don't know where to start.
Hmm.
So you are the answer to their prayer.
Well, yes. Look, that's why. Look, this is why we have the challenge, right? Because with the nonprofit company, with our staffing company, and then adding the consulting company where you're teaching people, again, you're interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I love people, I really do. But some people don't want to learn. They just don't. They want to say, hey, I want to have what you have. I want to know
Mm-hmm.
how did you get that successful or whatever. But they don't want to put in the work.
Yep.
And that is why I have the challenge. I have the challenge to say, okay, who's going to put in the work and who's not? Because I can't waste my time on people who don't want to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't mind giving out information. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, The Real Alisa AppleWhite, like I literally have over 75 videos there that is all on education. Then we have if not more than 75. So we have 400 and something videos all together that literally tells you how to start a staffing agency with no money from scratch, the particular forms you need. Like it tells you everything, how to get funding.
Okay.
So if somebody's looking on the free side, that is definitely where I tell them to start. They can start with the YouTube channel. It educates you on everything. And sometimes, like when I'm recording my husband, sometimes he'll be in his office and he'll be like, "You're giving too much."
Too much. Too much. Too much.
Look, he's like, "You're giving too much. I need for you to stop." But I'm just like, look,
Mhm.
if God gave it to me, right, I'm not in no competition with nobody.
Yeah.
That's the mindset that business owners need to have. God made Alisa. So there are specific people that are going to listen to Alisa, no
Mm-hmm.
matter if there is a person making $1 billion or somebody making $500. There are specific people assigned to me from God.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to touch that population. But I'm like, I got to give information for the people who can't afford me, right? For the people who can't afford to take the mentorship or afford to do the challenge. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a bunch of information up there. And one thing we set up is mini chat. So if you respond with keywords based on the description, you'll be able to get articles and documents to help you run your business based
Okay.
on how you respond, right? So it's like I'm giving out free documents to help people run their business. I'm giving them education. So definitely, I always tell people go to my YouTube channel. Like it's off the chain how much information is up there to start a healthcare staffing agency. But for your listeners, of course, I'm going to break it down
Give
for
him
them.
something. Give him
I'm
something.
going to give them something,
But
right?
before you give them, I
Go
want
for it.
them to subscribe right now. If you don't
Okay,
subscribe,
there you go. So subscribe to the It's Possible
yeah,
podcast right now.
that's
Like you need to
right. So
subscribe right
walk us through the process of
now.
starting an agency.
So it's really simple.
Okay.
It's not difficult at all. I have to give congratulations to my mentors. I had 3 mentors. I love the number 3. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So 3 is my number. And I had 3 mentors. I had Brenda Harris. She runs a very successful healthcare staffing agency called BPN Staffing, and she taught me everything that I needed to know to start the agency and the information. The She taught me the importance of a business plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother thing. You
Yeah.
don't need a business plan to start a healthcare staffing agency, but you do need a business plan to see your vision. Like when I wrote my business plan, it showed me where I wanted to go long term, right? And you do need it if you're going to get any type of additional funding from the banks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just start with it now while you have nothing major, right? There's templates that you can go to. You can go to Legal Depot to do a business plan, and with Legal Depot, it's probably like $29 or $30. You just put in the keywords of what you want to do for your business plan, and then they'll give you your free business plan, or you can just contact me on YouTube and comment plan or business, and we will send you a copy of our business plan so you can see like, hey, this is what you want, and you can consult with us and we can help you with your business plan as well. But so it was Brenda Harris, and then Nicole Collier. She was the mentor that I actually paid for. She gave me the game as far as this is how you started, this is what you do. She gave me all my documents, all my articles and stuff. So she gave me the basics on how to start, how to staff per diem staffing. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
difference between per diem staffing and travel staffing, and we could definitely talk about that later.
Okay.
Um, So Nicole showed me how to do per diem staffing, and then Tiffany Jennings, I call her Tiff. She's my sister, and Brenda's my sister now too. Me and Nicole, we business casual, right? But
Okay.
Brenda and Tiffany, like those are my sisters. Our husbands, they do stuff with each other. Like I know that my kids and them, they call them auntie. So it is they family now. Like they
Okay.
can't get rid of me. They family. So Tiffany literally came in the middle of my business, and I didn't mentor with her, but only like 3 hours. She gave me three strategies that helped me to 3x my business.
Mm.
3x my business in like 8 months. It was
Wow.
crazy, right? So that was the travel staffing strategy that she gave me to 3x my business. So simple, a healthcare staffing agency is just an agency that staffs medical professionals in hospitals or doctors' offices or nursing homes. You can staff them in homes as well, but it cannot be like care. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to confuse people with home health. So home health care consists of Medicaid and Medicare and Medicaid patients, and you have to do wound care. You have to change the patients. You have to feed them. You have to bathe them. You have to clothe them. Our home health care is just somebody there like a companion, right? So that's just somebody there to probably help you get your towel and stuff ready while you get in the bath, help
Mm-hmm.
wash your clothes, just be there for somebody to talk to, remind you to take your medicines, right? We can't give you medicines because we are not federally insured to allow people to work in their home. But
Mm-hmm.
how the hospital and stuff work is we make, and this is what I love about healthcare, home healthcare. I mean, what is it? The healthcare staffing agency compared to home healthcare. Home healthcare, you get paid with Medicare and Medicaid. Granted, it's the government, and they pay on time. From my understanding, that they pay their bills on time.
Mm-hmm.
But in healthcare staffing, you pay it that the patient, not the patient, the agency directly pays you. So, like the hospital, I bill the hospital directly. The hospital bills Medicare, Medicaid. They have to wait to get paid. But whatever agreement that I have with them, either it's a 15-day agreement, 30-day agreement, 45-day agreement, or
Mm-hmm.
60-day agreement, they pay me directly. I don't
Okay.
have to wait for any type of insurance, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to have something that says, like the insurance says, hey, we're not going to pay for this bed wound because it happened in your facility. So now this is how much we're going to pay you. I don't have to worry about that. If I sent you a nurse, you're going to pay me the rate that we agreed on, right? So that is how healthcare staffing works. And all you have to do is figure out what state that you want to have your healthcare staffing agency in. I always tell people to go to Harbor Compliance. Harbor Compliance is a website that you can go to, and this is in my video as well, shows you every state in the United States, right? I don't know international because I haven't started staffing international, but that is a goal. Um, it shows you every state and the requirements that it expects you to have in that state. So if you want to staff in New York, it'll tell you, hey, to staff in New York, you need a basic business license, which is a Secretary of State license. And then it might say you need well, we actually staff in New York. So you need a basics Secretary of State license, and
Mm-hmm.
then you need to do an advertisement in the county that you need to that you're going to work in. So on your license for New York, you have to pick a county that you say you're going to staff, and you send an advertisement. And as soon as you do your New York license, the advertisement people is going to send you all these ads like, hey, you want to use me? You want to use me? Like the whole
Oh,
world knows
okay.
that you're licensed. So
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't be a problem trying to look it up. But you'll pay like anywhere from $600 to $1,200 to get this advertisement ran in a New York newspaper stating that you're opening up your facility in New York. And then, you have to have your workers' comp insurance. You have to have your professional liability insurance. Um, you got those, and then you have your taxes and stuff set up. The best way to do your employer tax and your like your what's the income tax. The
Mm-hmm.
best way to do that is with a payroll company. So just make sure you have a payroll company. I always suggest people to go to ADP.
ADP.
Um,
Okay.
ADP is a really good payroll company. They work with you. And what I like about ADP is they have additional stuff that you can have access to. Like, so if you are a brand new staffing agency and you want to offer healthcare benefits, ADP can let you offer healthcare benefits through their platform. If you want to offer 401k, they will let you offer that through their platform,
Okay.
so you don't have to build it up from scratch. Um, ADP also has a lot of trainings. So they allow you to have a profile where you can do your trainings for your medical professionals, and they can go into their ADP app and look at your training. So
Mm-hmm.
ADP lets you personalize it, and it makes it look like it's you, but it's really them who pay for all of this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So you got to have you go to Harbor Compliance, figure out what state you want to work in. The best thing about healthcare staffing that I absolutely love is I can live in North Carolina, I could work out of my house, and I could be staffing Alaska. I could be staffing Virgin Islands, right? I
Mm.
don't have to live where I staff. I just don't have
Mm-hmm.
to live where I staff. And that's what I love about that as well, is a flexibility of saying, look, I could staff here and I could staff there. So you go and you get your Secretary of State, depending on the state. So go to Harbor Compliance and figure out where you want to staff. You go, you get your professional insurance. You go get your workers' comp insurance, and depending on the state. So this is a little thing for people who staff in North Carolina. They have the North Carolina Rule, which is the workers' comp. So North Carolina is a state, I always tell people I love North Carolina, but they're a state that no matter what you start, they're gonna find out how to get some money from you. Right?
Mm.
They're gonna find out how to get money out of anything you start in this bit in North Carolina. So they had the state bureau workers comp, meaning you're in this risk pool. So anybody that starts a staffing agency in North Carolina, your your workers comp can be anywhere from $10,000 a year
Oh.
to 60 to 100,000 a year. So you want to strategically watch how you staff. I learned it the hard way. I promise you, we learned it the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
We had to pay over $100,000 in
Oh,
healthcare
wow.
staffing and workers comp because we didn't strategically staff. We was just like, oh, you get a contract, you get a contract.
Yeah.
Like you get the work, but it's a strategy to this thing. It is a strategy to the thing. And this is what we teach in our program too. We teach our mentees the mistakes that we have done. We
Mm-hmm.
teach them how to avoid the mistakes and the pitfalls so they can keep more money in their pocket, not only to take care of them and their families, but to take care of whatever their goals and aspirations are. And we teach, you can't just do this for yourself, right? You got to
Mm-hmm.
do this for your community. And one of the things that we pride ourselves in, me and my husband, is in 2 years now. We only been open for 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years now. And we have helped 5 nurses buy homes. We helped about 3 people go to college. We helped
Mm.
about 5 people buy cars. So it's like
Wow.
that much. We gave literally over 260 people jobs, and it's
Wow.
just like that's amazing
Of
how much
course.
impact, right, that you have, and you don't know it. So I
Hmm.
always tell people, when you start a business, you might start it for yourself, but in the end you helping so many
Yeah,
people.
you're helping people. That's right. So to have a staffing agency, do you need to register with your state?
Yes.
You have an LLC, or what type of business do you need to register?
So it depends. Most healthcare staffing agencies, and I'm actually about to do a video on this because somebody asked me this question. Most healthcare staffing agencies, they start off with an LLC. They tell you to
Hmm.
start off with the LLC. But what I've learned from Carter Cofield, he is magnificent when it comes to tax strategy. Um, Once you hit $40,000 in that year period and the year is not out, like, you need to go ahead and switch your healthcare staffing agency to either S corp or C corp. And the
Mm.
reason why is because once you have that LLC, now you have to pay more taxes. What is it called? I can't think of it right now. Sole proprietor LLC.
Hmm.
So when you are a sole proprietor LLC, the IRS gives you like 60 or 90 days to figure out, all right, you starting this business, so you register your business yourself and you pick that you are a sole proprietor LLC. The IRS gives you about 60 to 90 days to figure out if you are sure this is what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do not respond within 60 to 90 days to change that, then you will stay a sole proprietor LLC for that remainder of that year. Right. So, and it's not that, hey, am I sure this is what I want to do? It's you looking at your money and seeing, okay, look, we made over $40,000 this year. So we might need to go to a S Corp or a C Corp
Mm-hmm.
to help to decrease the taxes that we're going to have to pay. And that little lesson cost me $400,000 of not
Four
knowing.
hundred thousand dollars.
$400,000. That
Wow.
little lesson of not knowing that taught me
Mm-hmm.
that. But that is what I love the morning meetup for. I love the morning meetup because
Mm-hmm.
David brought Carter Cofield there and we got to ask him a question. And when I asked him that question, he's like, are you gonna pay a lot of money in taxes? And I'm like, sir, I already threw away 400,000. I'm trying to figure
Wow.
out how not to throw it away. So he gave me that little trick and we saved so much more money the next year around. So I always tell people you can start off as a LLC if you want to, and it's perfectly
Mm-hmm.
fine. Because when you start off as a corporation, there's like notes and stuff that you have to have. You have to have meetings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can start off as a corporation by yourself, right? You don't have to have I didn't have to have an additional person in my like on my business list.
Yeah.
It was just me, and I was having a meeting by myself. But I had to have a plan on how I wanted to run this corporation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the thing I like about being we are an S corp now, but the thing I liked about being an S corp is I can now legally the right way pay myself through my company. I
Okay.
didn't know that as a LLC that I couldn't pay myself through my staffing company. Um, I knew that I can do what's that called, withdrawals, where you can do a personal draw, but then that personal draw, if it's not taxed appropriately, then that still can be taxed when you're doing your taxes. So it's
Mm.
best to give yourself a salary out of your business, and it decreases your tax liability. So I will always tell people, if you don't know what you're going to make, definitely start off as an LLC. But when you work with me, like a high person like me that make nothing but millionaires, we're gonna start you off with LLC and we're gonna switch you within that 60 to 90
Okay.
days.
Okay.
Okay. To that S Corp or C Corp based on what your accountant, because we talked to your accountant to find out what's best. And I had two accountants. That's another story. Oh
Okay.
God, Jesus Christ. Trying to be cheap. Trying to be cheap. I literally waited about 7 months to get an accountant. That same accountant cost me the same amount if I would have got her from day one, number
Yeah.
one. And then because she came in so late, I lost out on so much money. She was just like, if I was here the first, I could have told you to put this here. I could have told you to do this. And I'm just like, I lost out on so much money.
Wow.
So I always tell people, I don't care when you're starting your healthcare staffing agency. I will honestly say you could start a healthcare staffing agency with $1,000. You can honestly start it with $1,000. You don't need a lot of money, right? You could do your Secretary of State by itself. You can get your professional insurance by yourself. Plug ADP. ADP will allow you, if you never had workers' comp before and you're starting a business, they will allow you to get your workers' comp through them. So they take it out weekly, which is good
Mm-hmm.
instead of you being audited and having to pay an additional
Mm-hmm.
$50,000 to $60,000. I'm just saying. Um, so, but you can start it off with $1,000. But everybody, I don't care what type of business you start, you need an accountant from day one. You need an
Mm.
accountant from day one. You need a QuickBooks account from day one. Like, do not play with this money game because you can make $500 a year or you can make $10 million a year. If you don't have nowhere to delegate your money to and you don't have a plan, it's coming in and it's going right back
It's
out.
gonna,
So that's
yes.
it. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's more than medical staff in here. That's a master class. It's a master class. So you register your business, LLC, you can start. You don't know how much money you're gonna make. After $40,000, you need to change to S corp, right?
S corp. corp.
Yeah. So after you register your business, what are the steps? Give the
So,
steps like one to A to Z.
so you so you can register your business with the Secretary of State, and if you go to Harbor Compliance, it will tell you what this needs, right? So one of the things I always tell people is make sure you contact the Department of Labor
Mm-hmm.
and see, hey, you let them know I'm starting a healthcare staffing agency. Is there some type of certification that I need? They will let you know. That is normally free. So that is normally free. I just had a thought come over my head, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I released this in one of our videos. When you get to the Department of Labor, like once you register with the Department of Labor and you have a business, they usually require for you to have that labor board poster up
Mm-hmm.
there. So that labor board poster, people will start sending you advertisements to pay for it, and you think you have to legally have it in sight so people can see it, the workers can see it, and they can have the number
Mm-hmm.
to call. But people will send you advertisements like, "Hey, you could get this poster for $90, $200, whatever." Well, once you register with your Secretary of State, you can get it for free if you
Oh,
just read it on your registrations. You like if you read it on the Secretary of State, it says, "Hey, do you want your free labor board poster?"
yeah. Wow.
Get it for free, save some money, right? So then you find out, you call the Department of Labor, you find out if there's any type of certification or certificate you need that's normally free. Then you have to call the health department. You got to call the health department in there and say, hey, I'm starting a healthcare staffing agency, and call the health department in the county that you're starting in, like whatever county you decide to staff in.
Mm-hmm.
See what they need. Sometimes they have certifications that are free as well. Then you got the DHHS, so the Department of Health and Human Services. Call them based on the state. You cannot start a healthcare staffing agency if they are not aware and they haven't give you a license
Mm.
to be certified. Now, I don't remember if there was a price for that license. I'm not sure. I just renew it. It's like a every 2 years, especially in North Carolina, you got to have it. So you cannot staff a medical professional anywhere in North Carolina without going through DHHS.
Oh.
So you got to have, those are the three things I always tell people to call. Call them definitely to figure out what certifications you need. And then, you have your computer, you have your desk, you have your office. You don't have to have a physical address. You can have a virtual address.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your address, you got your phone. You got to have a real business phone. You got to have a real website, right? Stop playing with these Gmail accounts. That's the whole nother story. Like, go get your domain. It doesn't cost
Yeah.
money, right? And then you're good to staff. Once you have all of that, like, and you got to have your client. You got to go get your client. You got
Okay.
to have all your contracts, your job descriptions, all your paperwork, your vision, your mission, all that stuff for your business, which we give you in the healthcare staff. If you mentor with us, we give it to you. We give you everything you need to have. Plus, we have training on how you can. We have video training on each one of your staff, so you can train each one of your staff that's coming in. So we have it. When I did my mentorship, it was just based on the nurses or the medical professionals, whatever the niche was that you were trying to staff. It was just education for them. But
Mm-hmm.
as I've been in this business long enough, you need education for your office staff. You need to know what your office staff is going to do. So one of the things we offer in our mentorship program too is the KPIs. So we already made your KPIs for you for each position, so you can
Okay.
keep your medical professional, you can keep your office staff accountable and keep your money flowing how you need to flow. You need a factoring company when you start a healthcare staffing agency, or you need a really good credit score, right? Because you're gonna need money, right?
Yeah.
You're waiting to get paid 30 to 60 days, and your staff got to be paid either every week, every 2 weeks. I know some staffing agencies that make people wait a month to get paid.
Oh
I
wow.
don't know why the people still working for them, but anyway, I know some that do it. So you got to have funding, and that's the number one thing I always preach to everybody that I was not made aware of. That I was just told, oh, you don't need credit to start a healthcare staffing agency. You're right, you don't need credit to start a healthcare staffing agency. But if you want to grow a healthcare staffing agency, baby, you need credit. You need
Yeah.
credit like the day you started that,
Mm.
right? So definitely make sure your credit score is above 700. So when you come to qualifying for that line of credit or that credit card or whatever, right? Money won't be a issue or option, right? It's always great to borrow like the factoring company's money, but sometimes it could be at a higher rate. And then some factoring companies, we did a whole video on, me and my husband, on factoring companies. Some factoring companies will take literally 10% of what you make
Oh
per
wow.
invoice, every
Mm.
time you submit an invoice, right? So like if you made $100, they're gonna take $10 out of
Ten
that hundred
dollars.
dollars out of every invoice that you make. So you gotta know, like, look, I always educate people and say it, and again, these are in my free videos. Don't make a deal for anything greater than 3%. If you get a factoring company, and we have factoring companies that we use, that we absolutely love, that we trust, that has been great to us. If you get a factoring company, don't do more than 3%. Be like, look, this is what I'm signing for. This is my money that I'm making for us, right? All you doing is lending me money, so I'm not gonna let you long shark me. And don't feel pressure. It is hundreds of factoring companies out there. And I felt pressure when I first started. Like, if I don't
Mm-hmm.
get them, then I can't run my agency. No, there are hundreds of factoring companies out there. So find a factoring company, definitely. But if you hit us up or you take our mentorship program, we make sure we put you in the right hands, right? We just don't want our staff, I mean, our mentees, to just throw away money and lose money. And in healthcare staffing, people don't notice. Before, it was $1 billion industry. Like, last year, they made $36 billion with
Hmm.
healthcare staffing by itself. It's
Wow.
$1 billion industry by itself. But as of last year, healthcare altogether became $1 trillion industry. $1 trillion. So they ain't gonna mind me taking 2 billion. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it ain't gonna kill
yeah.
nobody. That's like a little dip in the pot. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a lucrative industry, and it's such a stable industry. When everybody stopped working during COVID, healthcare payers, healthcare staff got paid way more than they ever got paid before. Like, I remember, man, I was getting paid like 10 to 13,000 a week working as a nurse, and I'm just like,
Wow.
yo, I've never got paid that before. But that's because the need was there, and the government supported the need.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell people, if you don't know what you want to do, like, at least at minimum, right? If you care about people, if you really truly care about people, start in healthcare. If you don't care about people, don't start in healthcare. Don't
Mm-hmm.
use it as a go to make money and then go somewhere else, because
Yeah,
patients need somebody who care. Like, you can't just do it for money. If
that's
you,
right.
it's not enough money in this industry to, for your insanity, or your mental. So don't get fooled and think because nurses be wearing cute scrubs and shoes that match,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the stethoscope, that we not suffering. It's a lot of stuff that goes on that you mentally have to take, but you truly got to care about what you're doing. So definitely, I always tell people, if you care about people, with the industry being so solid, it is definitely an industry to start in. It's definitely an industry to start a business in. And that is a misconception that a lot of people have, is you have to be a healthcare worker to start a healthcare business. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, you don't have to have no healthcare experience at
So I
all.
don't need
You
to
can
be a
start it.
doctor.
Yeah. Huh?
I don't need to be a doctor to have my own agency.
Nope. You don't
Oh
have to be a
wow.
doctor.
Okay.
All you need is a high school diploma to start a healthcare
Man.
staffing agency. That's it.
Wow. So how long does it take in your program to be set to start working?
So it don't take long. We can let you go at 6 weeks. And what we do, depending on, we don't have a program in a box where you can just learn and educate yourself. We don't do that. We just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I want you to be, like I always say, I create 7-figure healthcare staffing owners. So I want you to be a 7-figure healthcare staffing
Well,
owner.
what is seven figure?
Oh, $1 million. Like, you
Million.
can't make, yeah, you can't make no less than 1 million with us. You just can't. It's just not strategically possible, right? So, and that's a year. I'm not gonna say, oh, you can make that in 6 months. You can make it in 6 months, but you better be financially ready for it. So if you come to
Mm.
us with, hey, at least I want to make $2 million in 6 months, then we're gonna help you with a strategic plan to get you ready for this workers' comp, this professional liabilities, all these costs that you are not sure that's going to about to hit you because
Mm-hmm.
you're staffing these people and get you ready just in case one of your medical professionals have an incident, right? So we can let you go in 6 weeks, and we have a personal program where you come in with us, and I think it's like 2 or 3 days a week, where you can meet with a mentor. I'm in the program, my husband's in the program, and we teach you how to do this thing from the ground.
Wow.
And we actually stay with our mentees for 11 weeks. Like we are kind of long with it, because one of the things that we learned is there's certain certifications that you have to have in order to unlock what we call in healthcare staffing the premium client. And the
Mm-hmm.
premium client is the government. Um, the reason why is because the government, they normally don't negotiate contracts. They be like, okay, if this is what you're going to charge,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to accept your contract, or we're not going to accept it, right? And that's one thing that I love about the government, is because they don't mind paying the premium prices, you can staff more people and more patients get the help that they truly need.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's not like, because you can't, just for example, right? Say if you do a bill rate and you say to the government, I want to charge you $100 an hour for that nurse that's working. The government be like, okay, fine. This is everything you got to pay. But if you go to the private sector, like a hospital, a nursing home, or something like that, and you say, hey, I want to charge you $100 for a nurse, they're like, oh no, let charge you $60 for a nurse. So that
Mm.
means I have to pay the nurse like what, $20, $30.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're like, no, it ain't gonna work. She ain't gonna work for me.
That's right. Yeah.
I got to make it effective for everybody, right? So the business could keep going. So we actually prepare our mentees for the government, and how we prepare them is we walk them through to show them how to apply for their different certifications that can help them get exclusive contracts from the government. I never had that. And now that I have certifications where I can do contracts with the government,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm like, I gotta pass it along. So that's one of the things we do with our mentees. We show our mentees on how to do what's called RFP, right? A request for a proposal. So it's the proposal that you give to the government as a healthcare staffing agency to say that you're capable of doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we show them, hey, we have our RFP, and this is how you want to set up your RFP, right? We show them the keys and little tricks that you can get so you can get your contract considered, right? We also help them to partner with different type of networking groups. One of the things that we have in our mentorship program is we if they're not a member of Morning Meetup, we pay for an annual membership for the Morning Meetup. We pay for an annual membership of Trapper Anonymous, that's stocks and bonds. We pay for an annual membership of EYL, Powered by Recession Proof.
Mm-hmm.
We also pay for is one more annual membership. Oh, the Abundance Community, Ash Cash Abundance Community. So we pay for those 4 memberships because one thing we didn't know, like we fell into Morning Meetup, EYL. We fell into all of that after being in business for 2 years. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like nobody told us all this information, how we can have passive incomes and we can generate wealth, and nobody taught us that part. So I'm like, we got to definitely do that for our mentees. We got to show them that there is support out here for your business, so that you're not just leaning on us, but we're giving you access to lean on other people to help your business grow in different incomes.
Yeah.
So we help them with that type of educate. I mean, we connect them with those groups and give. It's up to them if they're gonna, access it. But we give them that access with your mentorship fee that you pay. We also, what else we do? We do that all your templates that you need. So like
Wow.
all your policies, your procedures that you need, your job descriptions for the nursing staff or the medical staff, plus the job description for your office staff. So we give you that. We show you templates on how to hire your office staff. We give you how much you should start your office staff is
Mm.
based on the city or state that you're living in. We created a bill rate calculator that I am going to patent, and I think I'm going to sell it really big to a lot of staffing agencies, where all you do is you put in your numbers for like once you do your research based on how you want to pay your staff. So you put in your numbers and it generates all the numbers that you should pay your office staff, your nursing staff. It generates all the numbers that you should pay that you should charge to your clients based
Mm.
on your contract. So you can charge anywhere from like a per diem rate to a travel rate to a celebrity rate. So that's like dealing with celebrity exclusive patients. So it's like we give you that bill rate calculator. You just put in your numbers and it just all populates and do the work for you.
Wow.
Um, we help you with the staffing schedule. We help you to pick the companies. We give you the companies that we use that helps you to staff more effectively. And then we can give you, the people that we know to help you grow. Like we really go all in on our mentees because it's not just about the money, right? It's really about seeing you grow and fulfilling God's plan of helping not only you grow but your generation. Like I was telling you earlier, when we got into this business, we didn't know we was going to help so many people.
Yeah.
And for every person we teach to get into this business, it's going to affect their family. It's going to affect
Mm-hmm.
their community, right?
Yes.
So that is something that we want to do. We got to teach one, like that each one teach one is really big for us, me and my husband, because we know how education has unlocked our minds and changed
Mm-hmm.
our mindsets. And everybody in your family ain't on this journey. They just not, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
probably got a group of people that's on this journey, but everybody's not on this journey. So if you get access to certain information, I feel like God is saying, hey, you Moses, hey, you Noah, I need for you to teach my people.
Yes, yes, yes.
No matter if it's difficult for you, I don't care. No matter if it's hard for you, but I gave you this information, so I need you to unlock my people. And I'm so glad that you gave me this platform because I just discovered this miraculous guy, probably 2 months now. And I was watching Ash Cash Abundance community. I mean Ash Cash Inside the Vault. So he
Mm-hmm.
is my mentor. I love Ash. I mean that's my brother for life. Um, but he had interviewed this guy called John Hope Bryant. So John Hope Bryant has this miraculous, I'm talking about background where he has worked and he's an entrepreneur. He does all this great stuff. You definitely got to look him up. But one of the things that I love about him is for 30 years, he's had this program called Operation for Hope. So
Mm-hmm.
Operation for Hope helps everyday people, black, brown, whatever color you are. It helps you to, for free. I have to say this now, for free.
Hmm.
It helps you to build generational wealth where he will partner you with a mentor and you could take classes with somebody and they will teach you how to understand stocks, how to understand bonds, how to understand the banking system, how to understand how to save your money. They will help you create a budgeting plan for free. They
Wow.
prepare you to buy a home. So they help to build your credit report up. They teach you how to understand your credit report, what it means on your credit report, how to fix
Hmm.
your credit report. And they prepare you to buy a home. And one of the things that I truly, truly love, like just listening to him, because once I find somebody I love, I'm compulsive. I'm very strategic and very intentional. So I'll watch them like 2 or 3 hours a day just like or just listening to them as I'm
Mm-hmm.
working for 2 to 3 hours a day to see what they're doing. And one of the things he said that just had me locked on him for life was, once our people take our program and they pass the program, we have partnered with West Bank and we set up their profile to go to West Bank to not try, but get them approved for a home. Right. And it's like, well, how do you get them approved for a home? We can vouch for them because they did the work through our program. So
Hmm.
that is for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody. So it's
That's
called Operation
amazing.
Hope.
I'm gonna check it out.
You gotta check it out because
Yeah.
I mean he's been doing it for 30 years. So I feel like for 30 years of my life it's been a secret. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Man.
that's another thing we do with our healthcare staffing, our mentees, right? We give them access to information and to people to help them grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really passionate about teaching people because I have to like I've seen this vision as strong as I potentially seen it. I'm gonna touch 1 billion lives. And if I can get it out, not if, when I get it out,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, everybody will know that you have to treat patients with compassion because
Yes.
everybody can be a patient. And that
That's
is my
true.
biggest message to anybody. At
Mm.
any moment, you, your dog, your wife, your kids, anybody can become a patient. So you got to treat people the way you want to be treated.
Makes sense. Yes. So, wow, Jesus.
I'm a lot. I'm a lot. I'm
I
extra.
was not
I'm like
ready.
extra. You
I
wasn't
was not
ready.
ready.
You gotta get ready for me. I'm telling. I don't think nobody ready. Look, I don't even think my husband ready. Some days he just God literally molded that man for me because I'm extra. I am a lot. I'm
You
telling
are,
you, I'm a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
I'm like, babe, but I want to do this. He'd be like, all right, let me get the parachute because you're about to jump off a cliff.
so the program, you get into the program, get into the challenge. You see
Mhm.
that's for you. After that, you pay a lump sum, or how do you pay to get the coaching?
So you can pay a down payment to get into the coaching, and then we'll help you with funding sources to help you
Okay.
fund. And then we do have some payment plans for some of our mentees because we understand that some people can't pay, but we also understand that when you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Um, so again, these videos, 416 videos, the same thing I'm telling you has been in these videos. And it's like, yo, if you go there, you can start a healthcare staffing agency, but we understand that some people just need the one-to-one and they need
Yeah.
the, this is step one, this is step two, this is what you need to do. And they need accountability, right? So they need accountability. And one of the things that we do after, like, you pay for our mentorship program, if you still want to work with us, all of the services that we do, like our accountability services, our HR services, our state services, like you can pay for us monthly to help you with that. So say if
Mm.
you like, hey, I want a contract in this state, we will teach your staff, our account managers will teach your staff how to get clients, right? Our recruiters will teach your staff how to get staff, so you're not doing it by yourself, right?
Okay.
If that's what you want to do, we can, if you don't want to do the state applications, we have our HR team that will do the applications to apply for you to have to be able to work in these different type of states.
Yeah.
So we extend our services beyond the mentorship because we truly want to help people, and we know that when we help people, that we're helping a nonprofit. Our nonprofit is helping the community, and we're helping one patient at a time. So we don't just throw you out there, and we be like, we become family. I'm a family person. Like, I
That's
come from a
good.
big
That's
family.
good.
So
Yeah. So you finish the program and then you help them out with getting clients and the staff also.
yep, we help them get staff. Once you finish
Wow.
the program, you can pay a fee, a monthly fee, and it doesn't. I think it started at like 500 a month, where we can start helping you get clients. We can start helping you get staff,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just keep growing from that way. But when you finish our program, you might not need that. You might be like, I'm ready, I'm going. But that's another reason why we take 11 weeks. So the
Okay.
first 6 weeks, you are good to go. Like, you certified, you can be certified and done in 3 weeks, right? So you certified, you ready to stab. But some people scared to make that call, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's a shameless plug. My book is called Make the Call to Get the
Make the
Client.
call.
Make the
Yes.
call to get the client, right? And our challenge is called Make the Call to Get the Client, right? Our mentorship is called Make the Call to Get
Make
the
the
Client,
call, get the
because
client.
no
Okay.
matter what you're in, you got to call somebody. You got to talk to somebody to get that client, to get that contract. So in my book, it actually breaks down. Like, so if people like, all right, Lisa, your mentorship might be too expensive, I promise you, get my book. I put in so much information in my book. I didn't want to publish it at first. I wanted to, I wanted to take some stuff
Retain
out.
it.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you giving too much information. So I wanted to take some stuff out, but I'm like, nope. If God told me to release it, it's done. It's done. I don't question God. Like, if you said do it, it's done. So it's in the book. So you can go to get my book, and I'll send you the link so you can put it in the description, whatever. But go get the book, you read the book, it shows you how to save money. It's even a chapter in there that says, now that I made this 7 figures, what do I do with it? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole chapter on how you can break down
Beyond.
your money.
Okay.
Yeah, like how you can manage your money. So, like I said, you can finish this thing in 3 weeks. You can finish this thing in 6 weeks. Um, After you finish it, Now you have a 5 additional weeks with me and my staff where we're on the phone with you calling to get the clients, where we're on the
Mm.
phone with you showing you how to hire your staff, where we're on the phone with you and you're like, Alisa, we got a question, or Carlton, we have a question. I'm about to bring in the staff and do this resume, where we're showing you, all right, these are the things you need to look for. These are the
Okay.
key things you need to look for, right? So we're giving you 5 additional weeks of
Wow.
having somebody by your side so you can succeed. And if you can't succeed like that, you ain't gonna succeed. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, that's not for you,
because you
man.
don't
That's
want to,
yeah,
right?
you can make your million somewhere else, but not that's not for you. So the
Right, right.
mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you throw out the price like this, but
Mm-hmm. So
um
our mentorship programs can start anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000. So
10
I
to
always tell
20,000.
10 to 20,000, because I always tell people, they say, Lisa, well, can you just mentor me one to one? It costs. One thing I've learned is my time is valuable. I get
Mm-hmm.
none of my hours back, right?
Yeah,
Once I use it, it's gone. And
it's
thanks
gone.
to Myron Golden, love Myron. I love Uncle Myron. He taught me how valuable my time was,
Mm.
right? And if I can make 7 figures in my business and I can let you make 7 figures in your business, then 10 to 20,000 is a drop in the bucket
It
compared to
is.
seeing millions go into your account, right? But again, I was just like in this, doing it myself, trying to take care of me, my family, and my community. And Myron's just like, you could teach people how to do this. And I'm like, oh, will they even listen? Like, will they even listen? But I realize that people do listen because I listen. Like, it's
Yeah.
somebody out there that needs that help. So it can be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for the mentorship program. And I tell people when they ask me, Alisa, do you do one to one? Yes, I do one to one. I do 1 hour coaching, but my 1 hour coaching is 20,000 an hour. I'm not
Okay.
changing it. I'm gonna give you enough information. You can ask me enough questions to start your healthcare staffing agency. So it's better to get that $10,000 to $20,000 course,
Yeah.
mentorship, where you can definitely learn more. Now, I'm being honest with you. Is it going to be $10,000 to $20,000 in 2-3 years? There's no guarantee, right? It just depends on how many people I help. And every time I learn something, I add it to the mentorship program
Mm-hmm.
because I truly want people to succeed, right? So, we have the book, we have the mentorship program, we have the challenge that you can go to. And in the challenge, man, the challenge, I'm telling people, if you get VIP in the challenge, I had one girl that got VIP in the challenge. I literally showed her how to set up her staffing agency, and she set it up by the end of the challenge.
Wow.
Tell you, I give so much information to our VIP, and then we have an amazing VIP. So the amazing VIP person is the one who can ask the questions, right? And we actually, in the challenge, we make physical calls to clients so we can get you a client right then and there, especially if
Whoa.
you're a healthcare staffing agency already. So if
When is
you're
the next one? When is the next one?
so our next challenge is gonna be next month. It's gonna be in
Okay.
October at the end of the month. I will definitely give you the link so you can see it, because we had a challenge
Sure.
last week. For sure. But we actually, if you already established healthcare staffing agency, we actually make the calls in there to get you the client, right? And we show you how that confidence is. But in the VIP, if you're VIP or VIP amazing, I literally go step by step on, this is who you can staff. This is how you need to staff. This is what you need to do. And then on the last day of the challenge, which I added, which I was like, maybe I need to take it out. But again, when God tells me to move, I move. So on the last day of the challenge, if you're in VIP, I teach you how to get your HUD certification. I go down step by step by step on, this
Mm.
is what you need to get your HUD certification and get you ready for government contracts. So I really help you from ground to government. I'm
Wow.
really passionate about this thing. Like, I
That
really
that's
love
powerful,
everything
man.
about it.
You know what? Give me an affiliate link, okay? So
Okay. Got you. Let me write this down. Affiliate. I got you.
make it it's possible. The
Okay.
affiliate, make it it's possible so that I can go out there and work for you, because you know what?
Sounds like
That's
a plan. Yes, and we'll discuss numbers. We got this. We got this.
That's powerful, man. No, that's man. I was not ready. I'm telling you, I was not ready for this. I
I'm
know.
I'm extra. Like everything I do is extra because everything that God does for me is extra. Like, and when you
Yeah.
understand the power of God, I express this to people all the time. You need to have a relationship with your maker. Once you have a relationship with your maker, there is no amount of peace that anybody
Hmm.
can give you that you
Yeah.
have with your maker. That peace is priceless, right?
Yes.
So when God tells me to move, I move. When God tells me to hold off, I hold off, you know. And when God tells me to release, I'm like the Jordan River. I just keep going, you know. And then
Hallelujah.
and then look, God works through my husband and he be like, stop.
Yeah, you're not just doing something because of the money.
No.
The the story you have behind this is what's going to change people's lives. The money will help too, but the story that you share, it's more powerful than any amount of money that someone could make.
This is so true. Like,
Yeah.
and I tell people, like, I always say, I went through so much in life so God can have me relatable to people. And I
Mm,
tell people this, like, I done been a victim of being molested. I done been a victim of being in domestic abuse. I had my son when I was 14, so I've been a teenage mom. I
mm,
was homeless by the time I was 18, so I know what it's like to be homeless in high school, right? I had my own home while I was in high school.
mm,
um, I didn't know that I was going to be a nurse, and somebody pushed me into nursing, and it ended up being the best thing that I could potentially be. Right? I lived in the hood for years. I'm originally from New Jersey, Jersey City. So I lived in all the projects that you can name in Jersey City. I have lived in them. Right? Um, the typical story. My mom was on drugs for years of her life, and God
wow.
gave her back to me when I was 11 years old, and she's been the best mom and grandmother that anybody can be. So I had the typical story. I literally had my first job was like Family Dollars. So all I've known how to do since I've been 14 is just work. And when I work and I learn something, it's like, all right, what's next? What's next? So I always tell people I've been at zero. Like zero was there, right? I've never had suicide thoughts, and some people have, but I always really be like, man, if I kill myself, who is going to be this beautiful chocolate person that's on this earth? Like I can't do it. You know,
Yeah.
I try to talk to myself, but
Yeah.
I can't do that to the earth. I just can't,
Mhm.
right? I gotta be here. So, but I've been through some very, very dark places, and
Mm,
God has shown me that not only A, can I start a business, but B, that I can be a millionaire at starting this business. I could be the first millionaire in my family at starting this business. And then C, I can help my community and build generational wealth at the same time. And
mm,
that is something I feel like, not just creating seven figures, not just being a millionaire. The fact that you can generate something from nothing and help
yes.
a community, like that alone should just make somebody feel good. Because when I think about money, right? Mother Teresa, she didn't have money. She died broke, but she had access to so many people that gave her money to keep her mission going, right?
Mm,
Gandhi, he didn't have money, but he had access to so many people because he kept his peace in his religion, that he can help a community of people. And that is what we're here for. Like, if people understand the basics, that you are here to serve God's people,
yes.
and then wealth and all this money and gold and stuff will come in place. That's why he gave you people who know strategies, and who know plans and strategies, that it will come in place. But if the first thing you do is serve God's people, everything else will fall in place. So people
Hmm.
got to understand that part. That
Wow.
part.
That part right there. And when you mention a dark place, that really makes me think about myself and about a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because to become a tree, a seed has to go to a dark place.
You better speak it.
You know?
Not the head church up here.
I,
You better speak it.
you know? And become that tree that can become a blessing to so many people, so many birds, to the nature.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you're talking to someone right now that may be thinking about suicide or something, having some suicidal thoughts right now in a
Right.
dark place because they believe that they're not good enough, or it's because they are too weak. That's why they're in a dark place. They don't know if they're in preparation to
Mm-hmm.
becoming a tree
There you go.
like you right now. Don't kill yourself
Mm-mm.
because you can't do it without you.
That's it. You can't. So it's like I always tell my husband, the devil stay busy. Like, and I feel like the more that you do for God, the more imps he send and say, "Hey, I need you to be like on her ear, her
Hmm.
hair. I need you to be pulling her stomach. I need you to be telling her she too fat. I need you to be telling her she too dark. I need you to be doing something to
Mm-hmm.
discourage her from this vision, because if she birthed this vision, it's gonna put me back 500 years, 600 years."
Yep.
So I always tell people, if you are in that dark place and you feel like, you know what, this is it. At the end, I done lost my business. I done lost all my money. I done lost where I'm living at. I mean, my family, they don't talk to me anymore. They don't treat me the same. You understand, God is preparing you for your next level. And if
Hallelujah.
you cannot make it through this situation, he cannot take you to that next level. He needs you to be strong. He needs you to be, I mean, strong as steel for this next level he's going to take you to.
Hmm.
Because it's going to be devils coming out of hell himself, where Lucifer will come out of his hell himself and say, "Look, this is too much prosperation for you. I
Yeah.
need you to stop."
They
You get what
gotta
I'm
block
saying?
you right now.
He got to block you right now. So he needs you to be prepared for all
Wow.
of the chaos that is going to happen, because he is going to make you the example to the world that he exists. And that is
Oof.
the biggest thing that God can do for you, is use you as a vessel to show the world, y'all keep saying I ain't real, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm here through the grass. I'm here through the trees. I'm here through Alisa, trying to tell you that if you just care about people and if you serve me and do what I said, you will be blessed upon any means, upon
Hallelujah.
anything you can imagine, right? So if you are in that dark place, for people that's listening, I always tell them, if nobody told you they love you today, this is really huge. I love you. I don't even know you in this, who's watching this video, but I'm telling you that if nobody else told you they love you today, I love you. I am glad you're still breathing. I am glad you're still
Mm.
here. But I promise you, if you want the love that I experience in my life, my relationship with my kids, with my family, with my friends, you better go into that private room and make that relationship with God, your creator, whoever you want to name him. If you want to name him as Buddha, if you want to name him Allah, I don't care. There is one God, and once people understand that they are here to serve, right? Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, when people understand that you are here to serve, your light will shine. So don't be in this period right now
Hmm.
and be like, man, I just want to end my life. That is the ultimate way that God can't utilize you to bless you and show the world that he exists and he's forgiving and he's great and he's amazing, right? You have to be in that dark place
Can I
so he
make the
can
dance?
go for it. You got to be in that dark place so he can keep pouring that water on you, so you can keep sprouting, you can keep growing. You
Hallelujah.
got to be there because you have
Oof.
to be strong. Like Myron Golden says this, your roots got to grow down. You got to grow down. Your roots got to stick to the dirt, to the earth,
Yep.
like the deepest, darkest places, so you can pop up and be that apple tree, or you could pop up and be, a tree where you are consistently bearing fruit. So you got to go through the dirt. And I promise you, I'm not going to sit here and act like healthcare staffing is the best of the best. It ain't the best of the best. Sometimes these nurses get on my nerves. I love
Mm.
them, but they get on my nerves. But at the same time, they love me. They love the patients. They care about what
Hmm.
they're doing. And we could get past that whole petty stuff of, I just don't feel like showing up today. I'm going to call out today. We could
Hmm.
get past all that petty stuff because the mission is the same. The
Hmm.
goal is the same. It's to take care of God's people, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it keeps going. So please, if you're watching this right now, you're in a dark place, just reach out to me. I talk to you, or look at my YouTube videos. I inspire people
Oof.
every day.
Hallelujah. Miss Alyssa, you're a powerhouse. I
Thank
didn't know you were
you.
a pastor
I'm
or
not.
minister.
Don't you do that? I'm tell you, I'm not a pastor. I'm still, some of the clothes I be wearing sometimes, it won't be pastor like, so I'm not there yet. Okay?
Yeah.
And me and my husband still working on that part right there because I just like to wear certain stuff, but I will
Well,
still, no matter if
that's
I
all
got it on
right.
or not, I will
I
still be preaching
mean,
about
there is
God.
no book in the word that says that pastors need to wear their clothes like this. And no
I don't,
place, no book
I
in the
don't
word.
agree. I don't know. It's just some of the stuff I be wearing. I'm like, I can't believe you put that on, but I did.
Well,
But I mean, all jokes aside, I know it's not your outside that makes you a pastor, right? I know that. But I don't I feel like that's a lot of responsibility. And God has ordained me with the responsibility of building healthcare staffing agencies and taking care of his people in healthcare and educating his people in healthcare. So I'm cool with that responsibility. The other one he could give to the rest of the pastors and the preachers and apostles and the bishops. I'm cool with my assignment. Like I don't want to change it, God. I
you're
don't want
good.
to
No, you're a minister either way because you minister to these people through what you do.
change.
You know,
Yeah,
these words you just dropped here, man. I mean, that's bomb. You can change a country, a whole generation. You know, thank goodness we have YouTube and places where we can leave these things and other people can watch them wherever they are. Because
yeah.
I'm telling you, that's powerful.
That's
That's
awesome.
powerful.
And I mean, you awesome. Like, it's possible. Like, who would think of a name of a podcast like that unless they were like certified that they knew that everything that you believe, everything that you want, anything that you see,
Yeah,
anything that you hear, it's
it's
possible. Like,
possible.
it's possible.
It
Come on
is.
now.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that name? Let's talk about that.
It's possible. No, I mean, it's possible. It's knowing that it's done. You know, it's done.
Mm,
So, whatever success you're looking for, whatever goal and dream you have, it's done already. All right.
wow.
So, your activities do not create your goals. Your activities do not create your success. Your success has been created already. So
Wow.
that's what makes me say it's possible because you're not going to do it. Your activities is just like the steps you are given to take you to something that has been
Mhm.
created already. So
Right.
if you fall on your way, don't stay down. There is no time for depression, no time to be down because
No.
your success is waiting for you. You
Yeah.
don't have time to be down.
You better
Just get
preach
up
it.
because this thing is already done,
I'm
right?
telling you.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That is what you call unwavering faith.
yeah.
Unwavering faith. When you just say, I'm just doing these steps to get to something that's already created.
It's
That is
created.
God. See, I'm telling you, see, it's possible. I told y'all.
It's
It's
possible.
true.
Wow, Miss Alisa, that's why you gotta come back, man. That's
Oh,
best.
definitely, definitely.
It's been
You gotta
about an
come
hour
on
and a
our
half.
podcast. You gotta come on our podcast.
Sure, yes, yes, of course, yes. Man, I was not ready. So,
He was like, wait, hold on, I wasn't ready. I'm telling you, I'm a lot. I'm a lot, but I love God. And one thing I promise to God, if He give me the platform, I'm going to give Him the glory. I'm going to tell people how He
amen.
brought me and what He brought me through,
Mm,
because people don't learn by just reading in a book. People learn by looking at
yeah,
you, right? So
true.
one thing that John Hope Bryant always say: be careful how you live your life
Mm.
because you might be the only Bible that people get to
Oof.
read.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, who thinks about that? So I'm like, oh man, see, now I'm gonna have to start wearing appropriate clothes. All because of that. I'm gonna have to start wearing appropriate clothes. But that's just deep.
It
Like, some
is.
people don't read a book. Some people still can't read in
Yeah.
2023.
Yes.
Some people
Yes.
still can't read. So your life might be the only book that they ever see. It might be the
Mm.
only Bible that they see. So make sure you are aware of what you're doing and how you serving. Like, just,
Wow.
ooh, yep, there we go.
Man, no, no, no. That could have been a 3-hour podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Easily. Because a lot of things you say, I didn't even ask you questions on them. I just say no because that's like, man, just like that's it.
Well, did I answer all your questions about healthcare
Yes,
staffing?
that's
Because
that's
sometimes
good.
I go,
That's
well,
good. Yes,
okay.
that's good. Yeah. And I believe, man, go through the challenge. That's all I can tell people. You're trying to do it on your own. You're gonna spend the time to trying to figure it out. When there
Hmm.
is somebody that God has placed there to take you by the hand to do it in three
Hmm.
to six weeks, something you're gonna spend a whole year trying to figure out on your own, and at 6 months you give up and you don't do it anymore because there are things that you can't figure out. Why don't
Right.
you come and spend the time and take the challenge? Between $10,000 and $20,000, there's still something
Hmm.
people can pay for,
But
right?
the
So,
challenge is, you could do general admission for $97, and I always
97.
tell people there's no guarantee on general admission because you just showing up, right? It's on a live, so you can see it live through Facebook. General admission, and
Yeah.
then we have the VIP for $297, and then we have the VIP Amazing. I think that's $597 or
Mm-hmm.
$397. It's one of the two. But either way, that's a cheaper way to go as well because you get enough information in the challenge to get
Mm-hmm.
you going, right? And then, once we fill up on our mentorship, because we only take a certain amount of people to give them this much information, then you can wait till the next mentorship come around. And how we do our mentorships when we add more people is based on who is like already set free and like, Alisa, we're good to go, we got our clients, we're going. Then now that slot opens up, right? Because
Mm.
again, I'm trying to do long term. I don't want to
Okay.
sell somebody something and they don't succeed. I need for you to succeed, and I know that if I'm in your ear every day, either one, you're gonna do something, or two, you're gonna get tired and you probably cuss me out. I'm just saying.
Mm. Oof.
Yeah.
I have another interview later on, but I need some time to sleep to process
I told you I'm a lot. I'm a lot. I know. But it's okay.
process this. Yeah, so give the people a word for them to stay with and
Oh, definitely. So you can contact me on at Instagram, on IG at the real Alisa Applewhite, on TikTok the real Alisa Applewhite, on LinkedIn the real Alisa Applewhite. Look, it's to YouTube the real Alisa Applewhite, Facebook the real Alisa
all
Applewhite.
right.
Every social media platform, you can contact me at the real Lisa Applewhite. Monday through Friday, we go live for 15 minutes at 12 o'clock, where we answer questions that people ask us. It could be general questions about healthcare staffing, it could be general questions about parenting, being a mom, being a wife, about finances or wealth building, and we answer those questions. So people ask the questions, and I go ahead and put it on a list and I answer them. So we have been doing, I think, like 75 lives so far, where Monday through Friday you get that, and then Saturday and Sunday is a pre-recording of or a recording of what somebody asked before. So every day I tell people, you want some information for 15 minutes of your life. If you can just take
Mm.
15 minutes out, you can listen to those videos Monday through, I mean, every day, 7 days a week is a video playing to educate you, right? And then you could
Mm.
go onto that YouTube and play the playlist. So you can definitely reach out to us there. You can DM us. You can send us an email. And all of that is on all, my bio and everything is on the YouTube channel. It's on every channel that you can go onto.
I'm gonna leave your link also on in this video so that they don't need to go search it somewhere.
Sounds like a
They
plan.
can
And
just
then the
click on it
affiliate
and then
link,
yeah, right there.
got you. So I'm gonna create the affiliate link for the challenge for you as
Oh
well.
yes, yes, we can't miss that.
So definitely, definitely. You can link up with me. I am my team, I'm not gonna say and lie, my team is accessible. I am becoming less and less accessible only to my mentees, and then to my morning meetup family. Like, I respond to y'all really quickly, and then to my medical professionals. So like, they got my number, they know how to reach me. But you can definitely reach out. There's information there. I always leave everybody with saying, look, again, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going through, but I appreciate you watching this podcast with me
Mm,
on it. I want you to know that if nobody told you they love you today, I love you. I adore you. I am proud of you. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed to a level that you can't even see. Like, let
mm,
me be that vision. Let me be that motivation for you to keep pushing, because we are supposed to be abundant. As my
yeah.
mentor Ash Cash always says, abundance is our birthright, regardless,
Yes.
point blank, period. It is my right and your right to be abundant.
Mm,
So be abundant and go upon and keep being abundant. But I promise you, if you are looking for a stable force, if you are looking for peace that you've never experienced in your life, go and build a relationship with your creator, and
mm,
go build this relationship by praying 15 minutes a day, meditating 15 minutes a day. Go and build this relationship with your creator, because once you are firm in who you believe in, and once you are firm in the God that you serve, there is not a devil in hell or a person breathing or an animal alive that can shake you from the stable foundation that God has
oof.
created. So that is what I'm going to leave with.
Hallelujah. There is no
Yeah.
better way to finish this episode today, ladies and gentlemen. This was powerful, as you can see. If you have questions, you can just leave your questions under the video. Subscribe to the channel so we can bring Miss Alisa, the real Alisa
There you go.
AppleWhite, back
That's it.
to this channel. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy your day.